Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you around the world. Welcome to the daily Trade the Chain crypto update, where we give you everything you need to know for the next 24 hours and hopefully the next few days. Today is Tuesday, February 7th. We are inching the way through the week, and probably the biggest signal that we have so far in support of a bullish thesis is a potential bearish divergence on DXY that has not confirmed, could potentially end up forming bullish divergence. So we're in the battle of divergences here. Basically, what you want is this divergence to confirm higher price action, lower RSI. That is divergence. Bearish divergence, I should say. The goal would for it to break the 103.4 level and then seep back lower to either the 200 moving average or back towards this range that we traded in for a couple of weeks. So that is the hopeful nature on DXY. Of course, we are above resistance. We confirmed resistance yesterday, had a doji from this morning, and now we are, obviously have about 2.5 more hours to go on this candle. And also Jerome Powell speaks in, I believe, about 20 minutes. He's speaking at an economic conference. So that could be a nothing burger. It could, basically be everyone's getting excited about, Jerome Powell just coming to talk to a bunch of people. I'm sure he will get questions related to the market and the Fed's actions and the Fed outlook. Will he answer them, directly? Will he slide over them? Will he give some indication? That's really going to be the question, and that's why you're seeing such, little, or what I should say is tight volatility from risk markets. We've obviously moved lower this morning, then we moved higher, and now we're back to the mid-range. We'll go over that in a second, but DXY is still really the question mark for the market. If it moves lower, risk should, then that 25K Bitcoin price, and of course we'll go over equities targets in a second, but this is really where I think a lot is on the line, so to speak, as we look and stay hopeful for bullish price action. So looking at equities, we started the morning right around 4,100, which was support. Could potentially be a double bottom at support, so something to watch out for here. We're still stuck underneath the top of the range, which is around 4,120, a little bit higher, probably 4,125 is a good number to call it. So told the Trade the Chain community, hold 4,100, break above that 4,120, 4,125 number. You're back to 4,160 or higher. Stuffed underneath this 4,120, 4,125 number, you're just ranging until we get a decision made. And then, of course, if you break down 4,100, you have the 200-day moving average here, as well as supports down to 4040. Very similar outlook to what we had on Friday. Need to get above the range to do anything, need to get below the range to do anything else. It is just a crab market. Very similar for Bitcoin. We held the very similar number yesterday when we talked of 22.8. Got stuffed at the 200-day moving average, or estimated moving average, I should say. If you can get above that, then you can potentially target 22.3 and higher, or 23.3, I should say, and higher. And then if you break below 22.8, then you're back to the demand zone. And then we also have supports down to 21.3, as well as down 20.5. That would still allow for bullish continuation, but ideally you want this demand zone to hold or a very quick reaction at 21.3. Looking at Ethereum, nearly identical. Not much has changed since yesterday. The previous daily close around 1615 held up. Slight wick down, moved higher. We're still under 1650. So 1650 is the resistance. Get above that. You head higher towards 1700. Get under 1615, then you have, a little bit of support at the 16 flat level, but you also have a lot of trading time spent in 1530 to 1580, so could potentially see a catch there. We'd like to see a nice quick reaction if we get down here, we'd like to see a nice quick reaction at 1530 or the equal lows of 1500, else things get very tricky very fast. So, no real indication yet. We have, Jerome Powell speaking in 15-20 minutes. Market is obviously waiting for that. What will the market do? Until we're out of this range, we are just in a range. So if we drop a little bit lower, I'm not worried until we crack beneath this support level that's held since Sunday. for both Ethereum and Bitcoin, as well as equities. You know, we're more or less all in the same formation here, and we are more or less, you know, hinged upon DXY's potential success or lack thereof. So that's really where the market's at. Holding pattern. You know, we're in the pretty much the exact same position that we were yesterday. Predicted that to the Trade the Chain community. I said I would expect ranging more often than not in this type of scenario, but ranging is also you know, good. As you know, we are at the end of the day, if you look at you know, at equities, you know, still a higher low or an equal low. Bitcoin, you know, still a higher low compared to the lows we made. Same for Ethereum, higher low. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's not horrible yet because we are still making higher lows and moving that trajectory higher. But we are literally sitting on the precipice of where that trajectory may fail and where bullish momentum may get cut down. So that's obviously something to be wary of. I still have a feeling that we are more bullish than bearish, or at least, you know, current price action will form a larger range well above the lows. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you're not really taking profits, then, you know, you're not probably playing this entire rally correctly, because a lot of coins are up, you know, 1 to 3x. Meme coins are pumping, dog coins are up over the weekend, NFTs are pumping. So a lot of money to be had, and there will be definitely some money that gets pulled off the table. But when does that happen is the question. And clearly you're seeing some consolidation, some profit taking, but, you know, spot still remains relatively strong. Price action is moving higher with these higher lows, you know, although getting cut at resistance, you know, mainly looking at Bitcoin, unable to break above that 24K level. But again, you know, equal lows, higher lows, that's what you want to see for continuation. And until proven otherwise, we are in a range crab market with the lower end around 22.3 and the higher end around 24. So treat it as such, you know, try and long support, try and short resistance until proven otherwise. And you will likely be happier for it. So good luck, happy trading, and of course, watch out for Jerome Powell's speech. You know, I don't have any exact outlook for what I want to hear or don't want to hear, but the big news that happened was Friday non-farm payroll, the fact that the unemployment rate moved lower and that the unemployment that the employment market remains hot. That is still an issue for the Fed. So we will have to listen for any indication from Jerome Powell in reference to his outlook on inflation, you know, after getting that unemployment print. So I wish everyone the best of luck today. If you are a passive trader and are, you know, made some money, probably a better day to keep your profits rather than make a big bet. But Jerome Powell is talking, so there are bets to potentially be made. So good luck, happy trading. Speak to everybody tomorrow. And again, if you're not in the Trade the Chain community, you're getting all of this juicy alpha very early in the morning so that you can use it later on throughout the day, of course, with follow-ups like this session. So speak to everybody tomorrow, and, you know, best of luck to everybody.